Welcome. Thank you for joining us on The Breakfast Show. My name is Uzezi Udwefe Ideho.
Many people would agree with me that shelter is one of the essential needs of mankind. People enjoy the comfort of coming home to the security and serenity of their homes. And in a situation where you're denied your desired comfort based on certain controversial grounds, it doesn't always go down well. That's why today on The Breakfast Show, the ladies, we're going to be discussing landlords and their choices of tenants. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Wanna.
Good
How
morning.
are you? Good morning, Favor.
Now, I know before we came on the show, we had this discussion and we all agree that there's always a rivalry, a cold war between landlords and tenants in different areas of the country. Why do you think this is so? Why do you think there's that cold war between landlords and tenants?
I really don't know why, but I just think it's based on people. Like, people staying with people. You know, one way or the other, people just tend to quarrel.
Yeah.
And in Nigeria, once you're in power, there's a little bit of shock in your head. So I think that's what happens.
Well, for me, I think, a lot of people don't know how to be on their lane. So when you're trying to intrude, people might always, misunderstand it.
And for me, though, I think there's this superiority.
Yeah.
In terms of being a landlord over your tenants.
That's why I say when some people have power, it's like their head is shocking them.
So if they don't mind the way they use it, it becomes an abuse of power.
It's okay. I'm new to this environment. I've not even stayed for up to 2 months. And, when I moved in, the first thing my landlady asked me was, which tribe are you from? And when I said Igbo, she was like, okay, you're a fine girl. Then she was like, she's comfortable with my tribe. And it got me wondering, is it because of my tribe? Do you know whether I might be Igbo, but I don't even fit into the, type of
Igbo person you're looking for.
Or Igbo person that you're looking for. And I've stayed with her for a while. I think last week I finished washing and I was spreading my clothes. And her daughter came to meet me and she was like, you're not allowed to wash your clothes in the bathroom.
I was about to say that too. Yes,
you're not allowed to wash your clothes in the bathroom. You're supposed to stay outside to wash. And I was like, why do I have to stay outside to wash? She was like,
make the bathroom dirty.
They bring money for house. Till today, I honestly don't understand what that means. But if I can have my bath with the same soap and water in the bathroom, why can't I wash my clothes with the same water and
when you
soap
were saying
in the
that just now, I know of a landlady here in Benin, not my landlord, a landlady here in Benin who told her tenants that they are not allowed to wash clothes inside their bathroom.
Yeah.
And I've still not been able to put one and two together.
But I think the soapy water would affect the walls.
If I pull off my pants, I should go outside and wash my pants and wash my bra. I don't get like if I can bathe myself in the bathroom, why should I go out to wash my clothes?
For that, they said the detergent used in washing eats off the cement from the soap.
I don't know chemicals in the soap you're using to bath.
The soap you use in bathing is a bit mild.
The detergents are used to wash the bathroom tiles, uncle.
Exactly.
You wash your bathroom. I really think it's a silly reason.
And when I asked her, what do you mean by, they come out money for house? She said, yes, that's it. They come out money for. I honestly don't understand, but maybe it was a really
maybe there's a diabolical means to it. I don't know.
Probably. Well, during the week, we conducted a survey on Instagram. If you've not dropped a comment, it's not too late to drop your comments. Drop your comments on Instagram and, tell us your experiences as a tenant or as a landlord in whichever area you're staying in. We have a lot of reactions already on our social media handles. Instagram, we have a lot of people talking about their experiences with their landlords. Miss Favor?
Okay, I have this one here from Tovia Edionwe. She said, not only that my landlord wants to control everything in the house, last week she traveled and wouldn't pump water because she locked the engine room. That stuff.
So
how does she expect
the pumping machine? Is it inside? So obviously it's inside the landlady's
the landlady's house.
But why would you make people uncomfortable because you're not around? I should not have water. I think I've faced such before. We don't use the same meter with my landlady, so whenever we run out of meter, we have to. So there was a point where I think we were not able to buy credits and all that, and for like 2 days or so, we didn't have water running. But luckily for me, I had reserve, so I could get water. But we didn't have water running because the landlady was not around to pump water. Okay. Another comment. The same Tovia Edioye said, my landlady is obsessed with padlocks to the extent that our trash has 3 padlocks. Now,
why?
This is funny. This is a funny one.
What's going on, Mama?
That's a very
What's
stupid
happening?
landlady. I wonder how they manage to cope.
Why is
as
the
tenants.
trash? I would even want to ask, why is the trash locked?
Locked in
Why is there any treasure that she's
Maybe she
hiding?
doesn't want people around the area to come and throw theirs inside
Yeah,
it.
because
And
they
I know
have
in
to
this
pay.
city, actually, I don't know why they do that, though, but they actually build
Something,
funny
yeah.
block structures outside, and it just makes the area
Things
look
very
littered.
messy, yes.
It just makes it look littered.
Okay.
I don't think.
This is a very long comment from Berry Hansen. Berry says, "Good morning, ladies. So about my landlord experience." Good morning, Berry Hansen. About my landlord experience, it was during my NYSC days in Kaduna. After camp, I moved in with a friend of mine who was already serving at that time, with the hope of getting my own apartment since she had her own roommates and I didn't want to invade into their space. Fast forward to meeting an agent, I got a place to stay, but I didn't like the fact that I had to share bathroom and toilet with someone, so I declined to take the apartment. The landlady then said she had another one-room self-contained in her main house, so I looked it up and it was cool. I asked if there were rules and the agent said no, except smoking and loud music or parties. I wasn't a fan of any, so I moved in, okay? The landlady was so nice to me and I felt, oh, it's how Northerners behave to strangers, receptive and all, until I had a male guest in my house and she sent her little children to peep and watch what I was doing.
Ew.
This is really creepy.
Oh my
30 minutes later, she sent her daughter to knock on my door that she wanted to see me. I went to see her and she told me to send my guest away, that it wasn't allowed in her house. I was like, excuse me, since when? And why was I not informed about this before moving in rather? Okay, there's still more, but I just want us to reflect on this a bit. Why would you send your little children to come and peep into my window?
If I slap Una, I will slap you.
Okay, Berry seems to have a lot of experience because she goes on to say, she said her neighbors are upset that she accommodated a non-Muslim into her house and blah, blah, blah.
Is she Muslim?
I think the landlady is Muslim.
No, Berry asked. I don't think she's Muslim.
No, she said
so.
the neighbors are upset that she accommodated a non-Muslim into the house.
Oh.
Okay, and she said, I told her first of all that it's her choice to make and it had nothing to do with me. Secondly, I'm not a Muslim, so telling me that I can't have male visitors, even my father or brother, is a total no for me. So she's not even allowed to have her father and brother over. And she said she wasn't comfortable. Okay, I told her I wasn't comfortable with these new rules and other things she stated that I wasn't aware of before I moved in. And I would like to move out peacefully. Yeah. She said until she gets someone to move in before I can get my rent back. This was 3 weeks when I moved in. She started giving me issues in the house and making it hostile towards me, locking me outside the house around 8 p.m. Threatening to send boys to beat me up because I was trying to stand up for myself, locking the tap so I had to go fetch water in another compound. New tenants came in and she said she wanted only single females, and the list of rules she gave made all of them not to take the house, and time was running. She frustrated me until I moved out, and till date she never paid back my balance. It was a terrible experience and a wicked act for her to behave that way to a core member who came to serve in her own state. Berry Hansen, I really apologize for this experience but this is wrong on
Anytime
every
we
level.
get to the north, send us the woman's address. Let's pay her a visit for you.
This is wrong
you
on.
just move out and have your peace. That would be the best. Just
You know, I think
even if she has your rent, just leave it and have your peace.
It's not everybody that has the luxury of having extra finance to pay for another rent.
But it's better you leave than you want to stay and continue.
So when I leave, where am I going to move into if I don't have money
you
to
see
pay
one
for
major
another
problem
one?
I feel like landlords have, right?
Yeah.
Is trying to make everyone feel like that they are children. You get, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have some beliefs, they have some rules that they do in their own house. So I think they try to want to impose it on tenants.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you tell me not to have male friends? Why? Like, people should not visit me.
And this person is someone that's already doing her youth service. I'm sure maybe when she was in school, she used to stay on her own and she had visitors over. So why would you not want me to have visitors over because I'm staying somewhere that I'm paying for with I'm using my food chest to make the payments like and all that.
Well, I had issues when I was in school though.
Yeah.
I schooled in Leicester University and my landlord then was an old man. I think we had a fallout at some point because I could not take any of his trash anymore. Mm-hmm. Yes, we had some G-boys in the compound, but everybody just really lived well as one family, kind of. So what was the case then? He said, I think he put a caretaker. And the caretaker was just want to exert power to show that, okay, I'm the one in charge. I'm like, you calm down. You're not even literate to begin with. You just chill, right? And the rule now came that you're not supposed to have more than other 2 persons stay with you. Yeah. I'm like, My friends come over to want to read. This is the student environment for crying out loud. It caused a lot of problems to the point that, if there are sleepers maybe outside my door,
I was about to say that I had
the caretaker would be like, who they your heart? I'm like, huh? I know my nuts sometimes you can just actually lose. I'm like, in your life, don't try it again. So I think he called the landlord.
Come to knock and tell you, oh, you have 10 minutes to dismiss your friends. When he sees like 4 or 5 sleepers in front of your room.
I just really made it point blank to them, like it was not going to work for me because friends come over to want to read, spend time.
Yeah.
This is the time I have to bond with people for crying out loud. So we had issues, and the landlord came. Then we paid when we pay our rent, we pay an extra fee for water.
Yeah.
Right? We pay an extra fee for water, so they pump water for us. They were not pumping water. We still had to make our contributions for them to pump water. It was becoming a thing of war. And all of a sudden, the old man came from nowhere. He not that he wanted to. He increased the rent from 200 to 250, a bit 270 that time. And the stress of just parking, because I was already in 300 level, I just entered 400 level. So the stress of wanting to move out of the house, my mom was like, just bear, like you have just few months, right? Just the area was kind of safe and stuff like that. So when the man came, he was shouting and he was just shouting. I didn't know when I burst into questions like, Oga, who do you think does not have a house here? Who do you think stays in the bush? And he was saying, hey, how will a small girl like you? I will call your father. I said, Oga, call. I said, because even where I'm coming from is nowhere compared to where I'm staying right now because it's the school environment. Yeah. And we had issues until we left. I just really did not talk to the man again.
Okay, so that will bring me to another comment that we have here from Medina Luxury. Thank you. It says, I remember moving into a new area a few years back. The family house, the first few houses, I went to for house hunting. I was asked if I was a single or married. I didn't suspect anything, so I always told them I was single. Automatically, after my response, the houses became unavailable. After a lot of frustration, I had to adopt some strict methods. I went and bought a wedding ring from one aboki. The next house I went to, I didn't bother asking my relationship status. I knew it was because of the ring. Few weeks after I moved in, the landlord came to ask when my husband and family would be coming to join me.
Yeah, abroad.
Once he found that I was single, he started giving me cold shoulders because I didn't really care. Come on, I earn a living legally, and I'm comfortable enough to afford the rent and other dues. Why should I be denied accommodation because of some stereotypical thinking?
Exactly.
It happens a lot, especially in this environment. I don't know why people do that. Like,
I've had people
because you're single.
That.
I joined a lady to search for. She asked me to search for a house. I saw one vacant place in my area, so I called her and we went to check it out together. And the next month, like, you don't marry, Abi, you single. And this is a lady who just had issues with her husband. Like, they just actually divorced. So she just needed a place to just leave the house to take away those memories and stuff. And they were like, no vex, no go feel give you never marry. I'm like, why do people behave like this? So, okay, all the single boys and girls, where do you want them to stay?
I think some landlords, they do that because of the experiences they've had with some singles. Some singles, especially ladies, once they get an apartment, they turn the apartment to a mini brothel.
I don't think.
I don't even do that. I don't think. What of guys? If you're talking about ladies, what of guys? Guys that would have friends over, they will come in circles. They are smoking. They are partying. Even whether a lady or a guy, whether you're single or not, I don't think that is the reason.
There's some criteria.
There's some married people that are very violent. Every day they are fighting. Every day they are hitting themselves. They are shouting. So it's not better you stay with a single person that doesn't even have marital issues to deal with, and you're telling me, okay,
I for one, let's just jokes apart. If becoming a landlady, I think I would even want single people to be in my compound. Because one, nobody's going to shout. I'm not going to hear your children shouting and like there's peace. You go to work, you are, as long as I know you're not a thief. You go to work, you come back. I just really feel like there is more.
The visitors are not even disturbing.
It doesn't concern me. Like, it really does not concern me.
Okay, we still have more interesting comments. Faith Imani says, my landlady said those of us living in the self-con are not supposed to have cars. And these crazy rules will come up when you've paid rent already.
I'm not understanding this at all.
That is really, really, really funny. And Lisa Sparkle too says, the last landlord I had would be like, nobody should spread clothes on the line today. My wife will wash clothes, and therefore no one else can use any available line in the yard. What, like, how do people even think? She goes on to say, if you had already spread clothes, he would force you to remove your clothes from the line. It was so petty of him, so everybody in the yard eventually bought personal lines and baby hangers to avoid wahala. But why do I have to, adjust to please you? When I moved in, did you not know that I would have to wash my clothes? What if I'm only available during the weekends to wash my clothes? So I should not wash because your wife wants to wash.
So you see why I say that, it's just character defect for some persons. Yeah. Once they become a landlord or once they become a landlady, there's this superior mentality they feel like they can ride on. And they tend to want to treat people like they are children. Yeah. So I just feel like people have character issues. Landlords, most especially, have character issues. How would you tell a married woman with kids not to wash her clothes because your own wife wants to wash? Why?
MC Trevor, we have so many amazing comments. Thank you so much, guys. As MC Trevor says, as a landlord, many tenants on their own have their own issues and are problematic for no reason. Most times, it's better not to give room for these things before the tenant starts becoming entitled. It's my house, my rules. I speak on behalf of all Nigerian landlords.
So is it my fault?
MC Trevor, I have a lot to say to you right now.
So I'm married now. Yeah. So is it the fault of auntie whenever married is still okay? Yeah. As man no come, I should not stay in the house. Do you understand? I mean, like, most landlords and most landladies just put, undue pressure, undue check. They want to have this feeling of, acknowledgement. Do you get? They want to have this feeling of acknowledgement, but I don't think it should be so. You built a house, you want people to come rent it, right? Yeah. Make them comfortable to an extent. You were once a tenant even before becoming a landlord or landlady, right? Yeah. Even if you inherited the house, your children one day will stay somewhere now, right? They will go for youth service, they will travel, they will have jobs in other cities. They will also need to be in someone else's house. So except you want to start building a house for them. Whenever they move to Lagos, you build the house. You move to Dakar, you build the house for them. But I just think that people have character issues, and if not dealt with, are going to have issues. So I, for one, I just told myself that I cannot stay in a house where the landlord stays. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't. If when we're looking for a house, before I got married, when we're looking for a house, just say, landlord, first turn of, like, we did not even bother. Yeah. Even if the person was we didn't just want any confrontation, and we are the mind my business kind of people. So even my neighbors, I'm talking to you now, I don't even know the name of our children. Not because I don't like them or anything, but let's just avoid issues. So it's good morning for me, and everybody will bounce. Yeah.
We have a lot of comments. I don't think there's enough time for us to read it out. Thank you so much, guys, for taking out your time to actually drop comments. I'm sure a lot of us have faced frustrating experiences, and we all have to voice it out. But, I was going through the internet, and I figured out that they're actually, tenants' rights. But nobody actually ever takes out time to enforce those rights.
What about the ones that will tell you that, as you're moving in and the rent is 250, you now pay caution fee of 50,000?
Caution fee, exactly.
Then when you're moving out,
gets
and the money you will spend to even repair things in the house is more than the caution fee you pay.
That you never get back.
I think there should be tenancy lease agreements. Where we put all these things.
All those things actually exist, but nobody actually takes out time to actually enforce it.
So if a landlord bypass his or her boundary, the landlord and landlady, then we'll go back, trace everything back to the tenancy lease agreement.
Actually, I find some things really funny. Landlord saying you cannot wash your clothes in the bathroom. Landlord saying you cannot spread your clothes on the line.
You have 7 days ultimatum to move out of the house.
You cannot even threaten me with that one. Let's go to court. You can't threaten me. I mean, like, it's 3 months. It's known everywhere, right? Yeah. So you can't even threaten me.
Most of the tenants, they don't know their rights. If they know their rights, most of these
it's especially when they owe rent. When people tell you, you cannot talk, you don't have a voice. Anything landlord says, anything landlady say, you have to just bear now. Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. Yes, ma. Oh, well, I wish there was more we could take on the breakfast show. Thank you to everyone who left a comment on our Instagram page. I'm sure we'll be having more posts for questions like this so that we get feedback, and it makes you a co-host on the show too. Thank you so very much for being here with us on the breakfast show. You know the breakfast show holds every Monday and Wednesday, so we're hoping to see you on Wednesday. My name is Daisy Odoife Ideho, but before I leave, do you know that you can follow us on all our social media handles? That's CSL Nigeria TV on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, TSL Nigeria TV. From me to you, stay safe. Have a great day.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.